It's time for the Super Bowl. We've been through 18 weeks of the regular season, 3 weeks of the postseason, and we've seen countless upsets, big last second Hail Marys, lol bears, and winners we never saw coming. The Lions bounced in the divisional round, and the Commanders making it all the way to the championship game just to lose to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Baltimore Ravens and Buffalo Bills once again underperforming in the playoffs. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers not getting a win in the playoffs. And all in all, a lot of surprises here and there, but two teams that realistically we should have seen coming. It comes down to the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. Who is going to win? Now, last week, I attempted to predict the conference championship games, and I predicted with my heart and not my brain. And that got me to 0-2. So I didn't do very well when it comes to conference championships. Oh well. However, I have not predicted a Super Bowl on this channel before, as far as I'm aware. And therefore, it's time for me to do my first ever one. And there are a lot of things that are factors as to who could win the game. There's injuries. Mahomes and his ankle injury that always seems to come back. You have the Eagles starting center potentially being out. You have Devonta Smith potentially being out. And countless injuries on both sides of the ball for both teams. There's pure skill. Mahomes being such a talented star, being eons above so many other players who've played in the league prior. And you also have stars on the other side with Darius Slay and the rest of the Eagles defense being a very impressive group. But what it comes down to me is who has that clutch factor. And Mahomes has that. Hurts has it, but not in as much amplitude is what I'm going to say. Jalen is a good quarterback. I don't think that can be denied. He's probably top 10 in the league. He's made 2 conference championships in the past 3 years and the Super Bowl in the past 3 years, twice. So I don't think you can doubt him being bad or mid because he is good. And at the same time, you have Mahomes, who's made 2 straight Super Bowls, won both of them, and then before that, won another, given he did lose a different one, but he's won 3 bowls, MVP in all of them, although maybe not deserved. But still, awards are awards, and he is established as very good. So, my personal pick for who I think is going to win the Super Bowl, with all these factors, and then, all the complaints about officiating and, Chiefs having bias towards them and everything, I predict that the winner of the 2024 Super Bowl, 25-24, 24-25, anyways, will be the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't like saying that I think that's the truth. I don't. However, when you look at how they've performed, they lost 1 game in the regular season. That was an actual game because, yes, they lost to the Broncos and it was a shutout. Oh, it's all their backups, their third-string players, and I don't think that could have been stopped. Anyways, they only lost 1 game to the Buffalo Bills. They went on and beat the Bills in the postseason. Doesn't matter. They're in the Super Bowl. Bills aren't. And the Eagles, while they are talented, they are dealing with injuries. They have a recently cleared off concussion protocol, Jalen Hurts. And yeah, it's been a couple weeks, but it's still there. You have an injured starting center who's been great, but he's hurting. And if he doesn't have the time to recover, who knows what's going to happen. And the Eagles' secondary is good, and I do think that there will be an interception by them in this game. But I think Mahomes will figure out a way, because he always does. And I'm being honest with you. I don't want the Chiefs to win. But knowing the Chiefs and knowing the Eagles, I think it's going to happen. Because you have all that, and then you have the Kirk Cousins curse. For those who don't know, the Kirk Cousins curse is if you lose to Kirk Cousins in the regular season, you will not win the Super Bowl. No team has lost to Kirk and won in the same year. And I think it's going to keep going. Kirk's got his curse. His curse. Kirk curse. That's really hard to say. So, Kansas City is going to be your 2024-25 Super Bowl champions. Going to three-peat. Taylor Swift will inevitably get proposed to. Kelsey will retire. Then the Chiefs can ride off into the sunset and leave the door open for another team next year. That is my Super Bowl prediction. Do you agree? Do you want the Eagles to win? Do you want to see the Chiefs get the victory, get that three-peat? Make sure you let me know down in the comments down below. Make sure you have a good day, good evening, good night, good morning, good dawn, good dusk. Watch any former or future videos on the channel. Today, I leave you, appropriately so, with this Patrick Mahomes Select Concourse card. And as this card says, who needs third down when you can move the chains earlier? Subscribing to that thought process in 2023, Mahomes shined on second down plays, completing 73% of his passes and picking up a fresh set 71 times. This is why I think the Kansas City Chiefs will get the victory over the Philadelphia Eagles and become the first team to ever three-peat and the first team in the Big Four sports leagues to do so since 2000.